It's the first and only tune-up for the Kettleers as they head into Cape Cod League play on Sunday evening. Two teams from separate leagues will meet here at Lowell Park in a battle of championship caliber clubs. Hello, for the first time, I'm Stephen Carey, joined by my brother and partner Chris Carey, welcoming you inside the booth in Cotuit, Massachusetts. Chris, this is quite the event before the season, a spring training of sorts for Cotuit, but a really exciting opportunity for the coaching staffs to evaluate the players as each team heads into their respective seasons.
Yeah, Lexington has a very big game tomorrow. They're facing the number one team in the Inter-City League. And then, of course, Cotuit is getting to test out these players for the first time this season. Yeah, they had an inter-squad game yesterday, and now today they get to move to a formidable opponent in the Lexington Blue Sox. They've played many times before, but this team has plenty of talented players, a lot of guys trying to make their mark and show everybody what they can do here before the season starts on Sunday.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Both teams were champions of their leagues in 2019. Kettleers, Cape League champions. The Lexington Blue Sox, 5 straight Inter-City League championships. And I mean, couldn't be a better venue here at Lowell Park. Definitely an exciting matchup in front of you guys.
Yeah, so many people are here, actually more than we thought were going to be here, and I think people are just itching for baseball at this point, Steph. 22 months since baseball's been played. Cape League baseball has to wait a couple more days, and then we'll see the big drones of crowds coming in, but a beautiful day to play baseball. The park has been lively when we got here earlier this afternoon, and now, the Blue Sox are here. Coach Roberts is fired up. The team is ready to play, and I, for one, am just so excited to see baseball back here at Lowell Park and us to see it for the first time live on Cape Cod.
Well, you couldn't say it better. What a luxury it is, not only for the players, for the coaches, but for the fans and the broadcasters as well, that we get the chance to see these players live in action before the Cape League season begins on Sunday. Lots of other teams don't have that luxury, and the Inter-City League, it's no joke. Different than the Cape Cod League because amateurism's sort of the hallmark of the Cape League, with college players swarming up to the Cape, trying to get their cracks in front of MLB scouts. Bit different with the Inter-City League. They have professional players on their roster and is a bit of a hybrid.
Yeah, the word I'd use for it, Steph, is amateur adjacent, because the players here have some former bona fide professional MLB players that have played on this roster, like Manny Del Carmen, who may feature today. And then they've got a few college guys. It's more college guys than it is professional. And then a few guys outside of college that are still playing for the love of the game. But they play at a very high level. They're here to compete against Cotuit, and you never know what can happen. These guys just got out of college, have shipped up to Massachusetts a week ago for the Kettleers, I might say, and then the Blue Sox have been playing at least 4 games, going 4-1, 5 games, and now this game, first live action the Kettleers have. We'll see what will happen.
Well, a lot of the reason why this game has been played for so many years is because of the two men standing behind home plate, Mike Roberts and Rick DeAngelis of the Lexington Blue Sox. As I understand, DeAngelis has a bit of a Cotuit connection himself, Chris.
Yeah, he played in 1968 for Cotuit and then followed up with Harwich. We don't like that, 1969. And actually hit the first home run at White House Field, which was a great stat that was pulled up by Bruce Hack, who is in charge of media for the Blue Sox. Thank you, Bruce. And yeah, he's in his 26th season managing for the Blue Sox, and they played the Kettleers a few times every year. It's usually one of the big tune-up games for the Kettleers every single year.
Well, expect to see a lot of different things in this scrimmage, exhibition, whatever you want to call it. Could go a little bit longer. It's about evaluating these players. But in just a few short moments, we'll be back with the action at Lowell Park. The sights, sounds, and spirit of baseball is back in Cape Cod, Massachusetts, as the Kettleers take the field for the first time in an exhibition match against the Lexington Blue Sox. Stephen Carey, joined by my brother and partner, welcoming you inside the booth once again from Cotuit, Massachusetts. Chris, should be a great game today.
Yeah, it's going to be an excellent game. Cotuit, we're really looking forward to seeing them play. And, just happy to see baseball once again. I can only say it so many times before it finally clicks. And, you see these guys warming up on the mound, and then Lexington, taking their cuts before the first pitch hits. And you see this lineup. You see what Coach Roberts is trying to employ with his team before the season starts. It's just so wonderful to see.
Because of the exhibition status, you can expect a bit of a different flow to the game. We're hearing word that it might be 10 innings rather than 9 so that all the players can get their hacks, their pitches, or what have you. But the defense from left to right for the Kettleers, starting in the outfield, goes Schreck, Seidel, and Beavers in right field. Left to right in the infield, Cummings, Ritter, Brown, and Martarella at first base. Behind the plate is Ben Rice, and pitching for the Ketts is Will Jacobson out of Harvard. Big right-handed starter. He's expected to go 2 or 3 innings, but we'll see how he does.
Yeah, Jacobson, you've said it best. Right-handed pitcher out of Harvard. Few of these guys are playing. The Battery makes up an Ivy League battery. They didn't play this last season, so they're really looking forward to getting back to playing some baseball. So Jacobson getting his throws against the Blue Sox. And you have to remember that these guys are all trying to impress Coach Roberts enough to stay on the starting roster when the regular season begins.
Well, we're almost underway here with John Fritz stepping into the batter's box. He's a local guy playing at Tufts University. Get his first look at Will Jacobson. First pitch sailed over the catcher's mitt, back to the backstop, 1-0. Can expect a little bit of lack of command. It's been a while since some of these guys have gotten a pitch. Jacobson, obviously an Ivy Leaguer, didn't get to play this whole season as the 1-0 is fouled off by Fritz.
Yeah, these guys, especially the pitchers, they have to go back from having a couple days hiatus and pitching in regular game action a couple of weeks ago, a few short weeks ago, to now pitching wood bat leagues and the Cape, which is arguably the most competitive league in the world for amateur baseball. And, Jacobson just going to try and find his stride after not playing a full season with Harvard here with the Ketts.
1-1 fastball touches the black, called strike 1-2. But there's one thing that you can absolutely expect. It's Mike Roberts is drilling in to the pitchers how to play the game. As the 1-2 is swung on and missed, and Jacobson makes quick work of Fritz for the first out of the season, or unofficially of the exhibition.
Yep, Jacobson goes back with that elevated fastball up and away, and he just got Fritz to bite a little too late. And if that's going to start working for Jacobson, that's his out pitch. So elevate that fastball, try and get him to swing and miss, and get the Ketts on batting in the bottom of the first.
Number 2 hitter stands in, Brendan Jones. First pitch breaking ball in the dirt, 1-0. Jones, another local guy from Holy Cross. See a slight shift to the right side. Outside fastball evens it up at 1-1.
And that'll be the case with most of these players for the Blue Sox. A lot of local players from the Boston area and in Massachusetts, New England especially. And it's a very competitive team. I mean, they play the Kettleers almost every single year. And they have a lot of talented guys themselves. I mean, the pitcher that they have, Kyle Murphy, was first team All-CAA this year out of Northeastern. So they're no joke either when it comes to players, especially in the next couple of years in their baseball careers.
2-1 from Jacobson, right down Main Street, called strike, evens it up at 2-2. He's been effective lately, especially with that fastball. He's working inside, outside, and they're right down the middle. See what he goes with here. Misses just off the plate, and the count runs full.
And you talk about using the fastball almost exclusively to begin it. He's just getting himself to feel out at this point. Coach Roberts said in the initial first practice just a short week ago.
Payoff pitch misses low, and Jones will have a ginger stroll over to first base.
As I was saying, he's going to throw a couple of pitches, but Coach Roberts said you don't have 3 out pitches for the Kettleers. If you're going to be a pitcher in this league, we can teach you a third-out pitch, but you can't come here expecting to say I have command solely and entirely of 3 consistent pitches. And so you're going to see that a lot from Will Jacobson. His fastball, changeup. He featured a curveball there to lead off Brendan Jones, but it's going to mostly be a 2-pitch repertoire for number 22.
Another outside strike called, 0-1. Jacobson starts off Gage Gaunt. So now with Jones on first base, can expect a test for Ben Rice behind the plate. Big breaking ball, called strike, just touches the outer corner, 0-2.
That was a good pitch to throw at 0-1, tested out. He led off Brendan Jones with that same pitch, but didn't command it as well, and Rice framed it perfectly for the second called strike.
0-2 swing and a miss. Will Jacobson, 2 strikeouts to start off the game. And he's making quick work. After that first high pitch, he's really been pounding the zone and commanding his pitch as well.
And with a team like this, you know, you're not unfamiliar with these players. Will Jacobson, a guy around this area, a Harvard product. He's played against guys in the CAA at Northeastern, Bucknell, Holy Cross, what have you. And these teams and players are so familiar with each other that he can understand their tendencies and go right at them.
There's another example. He's starting off Logan Bravo with that outside fastball. Gets the call, 0-1. Jones breaking for second. Here comes the throw from Rice, just low. And it gets away from Brown. So Jones will steal second base. And the Blue Sox have put a runner in scoring position here in the top of the first inning.
And that was just an off-speed pitch there from Jacobson. Rice, tough transfer to get it over to second. Brown was covering, and that hop on a little bit higher of a grass deadened the ball, and Jones was able to slide in there by about a half step. So now they got a runner in scoring position.
But an 0-2 count to Brava. We expected Rice to have a test early, but a chance to finish him off here. High fastball just upstairs, 1-2.
That was a good spot there. He thought that Bravo was going to bite on it. Another Harvard product playing first base for the Blue Sox, but he didn't. He recognized that Jacobson threw that pitch earlier and struck out 2 batters.
1-2 on its way. Swing and a miss, and Jacobson strikes out the side. Pretty good first showing from the kid from Harvard. As we enter the bottom half of the first inning, we'll be back with the Cotuit Kettleers. Pitcher, that is what Will Jacobson did. We're going to take a look at Kyle Murphy for the Lexington Blue Sox. Chris, what's the scouting report on him?
Well, this year he was a redshirt senior at Northeastern. There's a few players from Northeastern University on this Blue Sox roster and starting on this field today, but 6'2", 230, big right-hander from Billerica, Massachusetts. And this season he won an all-CAA first team in 2021 and then an all-tournament team in 2018. When it comes to the stats this season, 65.1 innings, 3.86 ERA, so he can absolutely sling the ball, and he has a purpose here with the Blue Sox.
First pitch to Tommy Seidel. Late break, catches the outside corner, 0-1. And Seidel's one of those guys that really likes to swing on the first pitch. We saw him in the inter-squad meeting just yesterday. He took this ball 4 feet shy of the warning track. But now he's faced with an 0-2 count. He's got to protect the plate.
Seidel, another one of these Harvard products on Cotuit's roster. He has a big swing on him. If he can get the bat to the ball. But one of the older players on this team, too, just trying to get his cuts in and make his mark on this team. And when we've seen him signing autographs for kids, first-class person is what I can say about him.
Absolutely. 0-2. Shot up the middle towards the shortstop. Gaunt will fire across the diamond in time. Bang, bang play at first. Seidel almost beat it out, but Gage Gaunt throws out Tommy Seidel for the first out of the inning.
That was a pretty hard hit. It took a nice hop for Gaunt. Played to the left side of his body and delivered a strike over to first. And Bravo put the squeeze on it to beat him by about a half step. But good hustle there from Tommy Seidel. And that welcomes Dylan Beavers for the first time for Cotuit.
Beavers playing right field for the Kettleers this evening. First pitch he sees is off the plate, 1-0. And this is a guy that the Kettleers organization's really excited about. Big lefty hitter, tons of power. As he lifts this high and deep to left center field, ranging back is Fritz. He's at the wall, and he'll make the catch. Looked like that ball had some carry, but that's an example of what we're talking about with Dylan Beavers. He has the ability to shoot the ball to all parts of the field and sometimes the deepest part of the ballpark.
Yeah, we were watching him in batting practice today, and he was just sending missiles over the wall off of a pitching machine that wasn't throwing nearly as hard. And, you know, just these guys have plus power top to bottom, whether you're a middle infielder or solid DH. That's what Cotuit features most seasons. So nice 1-2-3 punch here for Seidel, Beavers, and now Cummings. These two lefties batting in the second and third spot.
Cummings out of University of California, Santa Barbara. The count evens up at 1-1. But you have to see a lot of these guys are trigger happy, for lack of a better phrase, because they want to get hits. They want to feel the cling of the bat to the ball and get on base, really show Coach Roberts what they can do as we enter season play on Sunday.
Yeah, I mean, it depends on the player for sure, because they have to be selective. They're going from playing with metal bats at the college level to now moving to the wood bats, which we know is much harder to try and deal with, a little bit heavier, a little bit different of a weight shift when you're moving in the box. And your average can drop a couple 100 points if you're not careful.
2-2's buried in the dirt. Brings the count full at 3-2. No chalk down the first or third baseline, so we'll see what happens here as Cummings shoots one up the middle for the first hit of the exhibition. He rounds first, takes a hard turn, but puts on the brakes and is aboard with a 2-out base hit in the bottom of the first inning.
Yeah, we can unofficially score that the first hit of the Kettleers season. Of course, this is the exhibition game, but on a 3-2 pitch, he was selective, found one on the outside, and drove it up the middle right past the shortstop in Gaunt. And now the Kettleers have a base runner with 2 outs.
Brooks Baldwin, the DH, stands in. Going. Great jump and safe is Cole Cummings at second base.
Well, he can do it from multiple sides offensively. Left-handed bat, shoots it up the middle, and then on the first pitch to Brooks Baldwin, who is equally speedy, he steals second base. Now they've put the Kettleers in scoring position here in the first inning.
With speed like Cummings, you have to expect that a base hit equals a run here in the bottom of the first. If Brooks Baldwin can find a gap in the infield or just find some green grass in the outfield. May bring home the first run of the game. 2-0 on its way. Misses low in the dirt, smothered. And it's a 3-0 count.
At this point, Baldwin can just be as selective as he wants to be. Probably a 3-0 take here, especially considering the 2 outs against the Kettleers.
He lifts one high but out of play to the right side. Brings it to 3-1. So I guess he had the green light. They really want to bring that run here. That's something you're going to see a lot of. Guys wanting to jump all over fastballs.
And at 3-1, I expect the exact same thing. He's going to get a green light. Murphy isn't forced to throw a strike. He's got a base to give at first base, but
it's rolled over to the right side. Jones will glove it and fire to first. Ketts can't bring the run in, but they put on some offense by way of Cole Cummings. We'll be back with the second inning on the Kettleers Media Network. Will Jacobson back on the mound after about as spotless of an inning as you could ask for here at Lowell Park. And hopefully he can continue that here in the second inning. Like we said, he may only pitch 2. They want to get as many arms in as possible before the season officially starts on Sunday.
Yeah, I mean, you said it best. A spotless first frame for Will Jacobson. And he didn't have to feature too many pitches. We saw a fastball, a changeup, and a curveball. And he had pretty good command. To start, it was a little bit shaky, and then he figured it out, striking out Fritz, giving up that walk, and then back-to-back swinging strikeouts for Gaunt and Bravo. Now we'll have to face the 5, 6, and 7 hitters for the Blue Sox.
Fly ball lifted out to right field. Beavers ranging back and easily makes the play, a few steps shy of the wall. 2 pitches. That's all it takes to get the first out for the Cotuit Kettleers here in the top of the second inning.
It looked like Beavers for a second misjudged that fly ball, had to range back a little bit and turn a few times, but then he ultimately found it a few steps short of that wall, going over his left shoulder.
Cervoni took it for a ride, but now it's Andrew Kenefic's turn. Swings at a high fastball, looked like it was tipped, and into the glove of Ben Rice, 0-1.
And Kenefic is an interesting player because he's batting in the 6th spot and DHing, but he played club baseball at Boston College.
Don't want to overstep my analysis, but I don't expect you're going to see a guy that throws as hard as Jacobson in club ball, but maybe he does. Maybe he has with the Blue Sox. He faces an 0-2 count. High fastball lays off this time, 1-2.
He's playing for a first-class organization in the Lexington Blue Sox. I'm sure he's been able to be around the block, but sometimes when you've been on short rest and you're facing a bona fide Division I product, it's hard to time them up.
Well, and it's especially hard to time them up when you have such an array of pitches. You come up with the fastball, then you come back with the breaking ball to the outside. missed off the plate, but really to gauge that as a batter has to be very difficult. 2-2 on its way. Kennefic swings and misses. 4 strikeouts now for Will Jacobson. All of them swinging.
And that fastball has been lethal for Will Jacobson. He's been able to put it wherever he wants, and the Blue Sox haven't been able to time it up. So spotting it right down the middle at the corners, up and away, you name it, Will Jacobson has put it right there, and Ben Rice behind the plate has been able to glove it on these couple of strikeouts.
Will Pot Devin stands in. Brushed off the plate with a low fastball, 1-0. Pot Devin, third baseman tonight for the Lexington Blue Sox, plays for the Bucknell Bison in Pennsylvania. So 1-0 is fouled back towards us, 1-1.
And first time through the order when you're playing a Cape League team, I'm sure it's just trying to figure out who it is. But this is such an unusual game, Stefan, because these players aren't going to see Will Jacobson for much longer because they're trying to feature a couple of pitchers before Sunday just to see what they can do to give them a little bit more game action that they may have not had. Some of these guys are coming back from conference playoffs, all of those things. So these guys, especially Will Jacobson, who hasn't played in a full season, really needs this, and then you'll see some more relievers. So seeing a pitcher second, third, fourth time around is not the luxury that the Lexington Blue Sox will have today.
2-1 from Jacobson, bounce to the left side, sliding play by Cummings, throw to first in time. Great first test for the infield of the Kettleers, and a 1-2-3 inning is how the second ends for the Ketts defense. We'll be back with the bottom of the second. Bottom of the second, Kettleers looking to strike first after 2 almost perfect innings from Will Jacobson. And now we turn it over to Kyle Murphy to see if he can do the same for the Blue Sox. He'll face R.J. Schreck, the left fielder out of Duke, standing in from the left side. Chris, correct me if I'm wrong. That would make it 4 straight left-handed hitters for the Cotuit Kettleers.
No, you're absolutely right, and that is the heart of the order for Cotuit, especially against a right-handed pitcher. Coach Mike Roberts is full of strategy, and you can tell right there with the 4 straight left-handed hitters, with the power that they have, they're really trying to ambush Kyle Murphy here early and get on the base paths.
2-0 count to Schreck. As that one misses low and away. Quickly ahead 3-0. This could be a situation where it's a 3-0 take. No outs, bases open. And that's exactly what he does. Schreck draws a 4-pitch walk, and he'll gingerly stroll over to first to start off the second inning.
I mean, at that point, you just got to be selective and take your pitches, and he took 4 straight balls and headed over to first to start the bottom of the second for the Kettleers. And now the 5th straight left-handed batter comes in, Nathan Martarella.
Martarella, another one of those California boys, teammates with Dylan Beavers at California Berkeley. One thing I got to say about the Blue Sox in general is they don't look scared. I know it's been early. I know they haven't played very many innings yet, but it's definitely evident that these are two championship caliber teams.
And I mean, you got to remember, both of these teams are coming off of championships in 2019, and they're both high-level collegiate to professional hybrid leagues. Of course, the Cape isn't, but the Inner City League is definitely one of those leagues that has some studs, and so they're willing to take care of business against anybody. They're not afraid of taking the challenge, especially with the amount of championships and the pedigree that they bring each and every season to that league.
2-1. Perfect hit and run as he shoots it out to right field. Schreck round second. He'll get into third easily, and the Kets have runners on the corners. Early offense for Cotuit, and that's something that we expect to see. High concentration of left-handed hitters. Didn't put the shift on for Martarella, and it paid the price for Lexington.
Yeah, Coach Mike Roberts is unafraid to play ABC baseball. He'll send anybody to run to second base, and right there, Nathan Martarella just puts it where the defenders aren't in right field. Now you got runners on second and third for the Kettleers and nobody out for the catcher, Ben Rice.
Breaking ball cuts inside, 0-1. Martarella never stopped running on that base hit. The throw was a little bit off the mark, and he just kept going, got into second base as Plank smothers that one and keeps Schreck from coming home.
Yeah, he was rumbling around first. He knew exactly what was happening. The throw was head to third. Almost got away from Pot Devin at third base. And that would have been the first run of the game, but good defense by the Blue Sox to play damage control.
Another miss. Brings the count to 2-1. Rice, bit of an unorthodox situation. He's a left-handed catcher. How many catchers can you say bat left-handed?
Well, our favorite is Brian McCann, so that's at least one. But off the top of my head, there's a lot of right-handed batting catchers, but you're going to bat your lefty against your right-handed pitcher.
2-2 count. The pitch. Right down the middle, and he rings up Rice.
And that's a big first strikeout of the game and the inning for Kyle Murphy. He needed that one. He's got runners in scoring position, a pair of them at second and third, and now he has to deal with Eric Brown.
This is the first right-handed hitter that Kyle Murphy has seen since Tommy Seidel, who led off in the first inning. Big breaking ball down in the dirt, 1-0.
You look at Brown's stance, his unorthodox approach at the plate. His leg is up in the air when the ball is in motion.
You know what that tells me? He's ready to launch. 0-1. Pop to the right side. Who's going to call it? Jones calls off the first baseman, and it falls to the grass. Schreck is going to score. Martarella to third. Looks like the sunlight helped out the Kettleers there.
Score that an E4 fielding. He was ranging back. Plank just couldn't make the play. Going to his left side. It just dropped in between right and second base. Easily scoring was R.J. Schreck. And the first run of the game, first run of the year, unofficially for the Kettleers, comes by Eric Brown. I have a feeling that we're going to be saying that a lot this season.
Ryan Ritter, the Kentucky shortstop, stands in. Fastball down in the dirt, 1-0. Another one of the wonky changes here in the exhibition is 10 batters versus 9. So teams are going to have 2 DHs. Runner going, no throw. Brown gets in safely. So now 2 runners in scoring position. Martarella at third, Brown at second. 1-0 after that error by the second baseman.
That reminds me when we used to call softball game stuff. That almost looked like a defensive indifference. They didn't even cover because Eric Brown's blazing speed just took second so easily.
Good eye by Ritter. That one misses by a tad. It's 3-0. What you don't want to do in this situation when you're not throwing strikes is load them up, because that's when the revolving door begins to start. 3-0. Big cut by Ritter. He was looking for the fences there, but couldn't catch up to it. 3-1.
Well, luckily he has 2 more strikes to work with and another green light situation, because Kyle Murphy absolutely does not want to give him the base at first for the 10 batter, Jacob Plastiak, who's the designated hitter.
This time the breaking ball gets Ritter to fan. The count runs full to 3-2.
This would be a big strikeout for Kyle Murphy if he can find something to get past the product of the University of Kentucky and Ryan Ritter.
Outfield playing at medium depth, respecting the power of Ritter. 3-2. He swings and misses on a pitch low in the zone, and boy, that's just what the doctor ordered for Kyle Murphy.
3 straight strikes for Kyle Murphy. Went fastball, breaking ball, and then back to a low fastball with not as much velocity, and Ritter couldn't hold off, so he has to pass the baton to another Kentucky product of Jacob Plastiak.
That's where Kyle Murphy's pedigree comes into play, battling back from a 3-0 count. Like you said, Plastiak stands in. He gets a breaking ball away, 1-0. Good turnout here from the Kettleers faithful, and they just really want to see baseball. That's the only thing they want to see here in the village. People have been chomping at the bit as the 1-0 misses low. Plastiak, another one of those Kentucky guys on this roster. Saw Ryan Ritter bat before him, back-to-back Kentucky players. No shift on for Plastiak as the 2-1 catches the outside corner, evens it up at 2-2.
Nice off-speed pitch there. He caught Plastiak just standing. Now at a 2-2 count, he could walk away with only 1 run of damage against him.
And a run that wasn't even earned. It was an error by the second baseman. Here it comes. Swing and a miss. The catcher dropped it. Free base at first. He'll apply the tag to Plastiak, and Kyle Murphy gets out of it with only 1 run coming across for the Kettleers. Cats take the lead, but we'll be back with the 3rd inning with the Kettleers.
I need music turned down now. Thank you.
Now on the mound for the Kettleers, pitcher Jake Brooks.
Welcome back to Lowell Park, home of the Cotuit Kettleers. As you've probably seen, lying on the backs of the Blue Sox jerseys is number 3 in honor of the late Pete Frates, captain of Boston College baseball, battle to ALS in December of 2019. He serves as an inspiration to the ALS Ice Bucket Challenge, which has helped to raise over $220 million in research. Back to you, Chris and Steph.
Well, thank you, Lauren. Thank you so very much. It's the 3rd inning, but a first of many from our sideline reporter, Lauren Kirkley. Her first hit of a season, and an excellent job from her. So now the Kettleers feature a new pitcher in Burks, wearing the number 33 jersey. And he's a sidearm thrower.
Yeah, only expect to see him for one inning. It's not going to have a lot of action, but it's more about getting these guys in and getting them repetition so that they could be ready for Sunday. Want to save these arms because you never know who you're going to want to use against Wareham on Sunday evening here at Lowell Park.
Yeah, so that the day is done for Will Jacobson, who did excellent work against the Blue Sox. 4 strikeouts, only gave up 1 walk, and the rest was perfect. So the 8, 9, and 1 hitters for the Blue Sox will stand in for the first and second time. And Stefan, what did you see from Jacobson that was a positive sign for the Kettleers?
Well, excellent command of his fastball. He really worked the outside and the inside. Throw it down the middle.
As that one is chopped over to Cummings, he can't corral that one, and a wide throw will be beaten out by Cam Plank, the starting catcher.
So strange to see because as the inning ended for the top of the second, we saw Cummings make an excellent play, ranging to his left, sliding, and throwing a dart over to first base. Much easier play, but sunlight's a factor. These guys are still working out the kinks, some of which haven't been playing for a few months.
Jake Brooks out of Fountain Valley, California, fires in a strike to Chris Races out of Holy Cross. Right up the street here in Massachusetts for strike number 1.
Yep, Fountain Valley, hometown of Freddie Freeman. Quite the geographic spread on the Kettleers. We have lots of different players from several states, lots of colleges represented. And that's what's so appealing about the Cape League. All these guys want to get in here, play in Massachusetts in this beautiful weather, in this beautiful ballpark. And it's no doubt why to learn under the tutelage of Mike Roberts.
Now it's a 2-1 count for Chris Races. The difference in this game is the Lexington Blue Sox actually feature 9 batters, and the Kettleers will use 10, as we've said before. They want to get through their talent. This is their first, and only tune-up before Sunday's game, as there's another chopper headed towards Cummings. He'll throw to second, and the fire over to first is not in time, and Races will beat it out on a fielder's choice play. But good job by Cummings to quickly get it over to Brown at second base for the first out of the inning.
Yeah, great response there from Cummings to gather that ball, throw it across the second. Sometimes when you make an error, it gets in your head. You can't let the errors matriculate and continue to plague you over at the hot corner.
So standing in for the second time is John Fritz. He was a strikeout victim to Will Jacobson his first time up, and he'll swing and miss at a fastball from Brooks, making it 0-1. Brooks, a product of UCLA, and he's come a long way to play for the Kettleers. Trying to show off his stuff as I wouldn't even say middle relief arm at this point because it's only the third inning.
Certainly hard to gauge. We're getting used to these players just as much as you guys are, obviously the listeners, and finding their role. I think even they don't know what they're going to be doing. Coach Roberts has a way of finding what a player's real potential is, and guys that are usually starters may come to the Cape and be middle relievers or closers if Coach Roberts feels that that's going to be what their spot is at the next level.
Now the 1-2 pitch from Brooks is lined foul to the right side. It'll stay at 1 ball and 2 strikes. We'll do it again. The 1-2 pitch. Breaking ball chopped over to third once again. To Brown. The throw to first, and Martarella is in time. This time the double play works, and Jake Brooks goes 1, 2, 3 in the third inning. We head to the Kettleers third on the Kettleers Digital Network. Bottom of the third here at Lowell Park, Chris Carey and Stephen Carey. Kettleers lead 1-0, and we're at the top of the order with Tommy Seidel facing Kyle Murphy for the second time. Seidel grounded out to shortstop his first time up, but it was a close play. Well done by Gaunt at short, and now he's looking to get on the base paths for his first time of the exhibition game. But he'll have to take a strike first, and Kyle Murphy had gotten out of a jam in the bottom of the second inning after giving up a run from Eric Brown. It was a fielding error, so it won't go against Kyle Murphy. Even if it did, it wouldn't count because this is an exhibition game, as it's 1-1 for Seidel. And he'll foul that one off of Plank's mask, making it 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Yeah, these at-bats are really important for Tommy Seidel because he hasn't played in the last season because of Harvard and the Ivy League's commitment to the COVID-19 policies and not playing organized sports.
1-2 to Seidel. Grounded over to short. Gaunt can't get that one, and Seidel reaches base for the first time in his game. So a pair of grounders to short. This time he gets to first base as Gaunt couldn't corral that one. And the Kettleers with no outs have a base runner for the second time in as many innings.
Yeah, and the point that I was making is this outfield is so deep for the Cotuit Kettleers. I mean, Dylan Beavers stepping in. Another one of those guys that you see potentially being one of the better players this season. Seidel, quick, fast movements, high energy player. I don't know if he doesn't beat that out if it's hit to that deep in shortstop.
And Beavers tries to lay one down to the left side of the infield. Instead, it will be a strike against him. As we've said before, Coach Roberts is not afraid to play ABC baseball. Move the runner over, steal him. A classical manager, if you will. And he'll steal anybody as well. It doesn't matter if you're a first baseman or a shortstop that probably should be stealing more. He wants to get these guys in scoring position as much as possible. 0-1 pitch, and Beavers swings for the fences and misses. He's quickly behind 0-2.
Yeah, Beavers is ready to launch. You can see that open stance, a lot like Anthony Rizzo of the Chicago Cubs. If he gets a hold of one, he times one up. That ball is in the trees in right center field.
And this guy is 6'6". I mean, he has plenty of reach if Kyle Murphy elects to go to the outside corner as he throws over to first. But Seidel gets back in safely. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Swing and a miss in the dirt, and Seidel is off to the races, and he'll steal second base, or he will not. Actually, they will say it was foul tipped by Beavers. And it'll stay at an 0-2 count.
Yeah, Beavers certainly spoiled that one. Seidel with a big jump.
There's the pitch in the dirt. Seidel will go again. The throw down is in time. Oh. He kept it in his glove, and that is the first out of the inning.
Yeah, Seidel really didn't get a good jump. He started working his way back towards the first base bag. No pickoff at first ever came, so he was going while the ball was coming across. Fortunately for the Blue Sox, it was a fastball that Murphy decided to go with, so there was plenty of time.
1-2 pitch to Beavers is fouled away.
Plenty of time for Gaunt to go and cover second base.
Now that there's nobody on the base paths, Beavers is a little bit more defensive at the plate as he swings and misses at a pretty change-up there from Kyle Murphy. And now there's 2 down for Cole Cummings. I'll tell you what, Stefan, Kyle Murphy is playing like a Cape Leaguer right now.
Yep, Kyle Murphy definitely showing off that even though he's in the inner city baseball league, it's not too far off from what we're witnessing here. Lots of experience, lots of talent that comes through the greater Boston area. I mean, they've been established since 1950, had a plethora of franchises. That's to be expected.
As Cummings takes a strike on the outside corner, it'll make it 1-1.
My curiosity is how long are they going to keep Murphy in, because they have a really big game themselves tomorrow night in Lexington.
As Cummings lifts that one to left, it will stay in the yard. Moving over is Cervoni, and he'll make the catch for the third out of the third. We head to the fourth on the Kettleers Digital Network. Top of the fourth inning here at Lowell Park. Chris Carey, Stephen Carey, and a new pitcher for the Kettleers in number 35, Alaska Abney. They went from Jake Brooks, who threw from the three-quarters position, to now a sidearmer out of Coastal Carolina and Lawrenceville, Georgia. Abney, another right-hander featured on this Kettleers roster, and he will face the 2, 3, and 4 hitters for the Blue Sox.
Yeah, pretty good work by Jake Brooks. Had that error over at third base for Cole Cummings, but battled back. Got a 5-4 fielder's choice. And same can be said about Cummings, of course. Back-to-back plays, 5-4 fielder's choice, and then a 5-4-3 double play to close out the inning. Pretty unusual 1-2-3 inning for Jake Brooks, but man, when you let your defense do the work, that's something that gets so underappreciated by pitchers. Everybody wants to strike everybody out, but not all the time. Sometimes you just have to put it in play and let the defense do their job.
Abney throws a fastball and a nice slider from the sidearm position. Those will most likely be the two pitches that we see frequently in this game, as Brandon Jones, who reached base via a walk in the first inning and stole a base later, will stand in for the second time.
Yeah, you see the light shift. Ritter playing almost behind the second base bag. And it's funny because typically when teams are not huge fans of the analytics from a hitting standpoint, they wouldn't be as much defensively either. So that just goes to show how much the shift has impacted the way the game is played, especially for left-handed hitters. We'll see if it pays off for the Kettleers here.
As Abney spots a pitch on the inside corner, makes it 1-1. Gotta tell you, Steph, the Blue Sox may not feature as many MLB players in their system, but they've had a few come through. As Abney delivers a slider that's lifted into center field, Seidel coming on, and he'll plant his feet right under, making the first out of the fourth inning. So a few names I want to run by you. Chris Shaw played for the Blue Sox. He's now in the Baltimore Orioles organization, but reached the major leagues in 2018 and 2019 for the San Francisco Giants. And then a name that you might know a little bit more, Ryan Hannigan.
Yeah, Rollins boy from down in our neck of the woods. Yeah, that's excellent.
Hannigan had a 10-year professional career with the Reds, Rays, Red Sox, and Rockies. So the 4 R's of Major League Baseball. As a fastball falls in for a strike for Gage Gaunt, who goes to the University of Arts and Sciences in Oklahoma, an NAIA powerhouse baseball school. And there's an elevated strike up and away off of the fastball from Abney.
Yeah, Abney looks really comfortable out there right now. Pretty solid command. Different than what we've seen to start out. Jacobson had a little bit of a struggle to start early, but then found his rhythm. Abney's been in there ready to throw. And sometimes sidearm pitchers have struggle because that weird release angle, they usually can't get as much speed on it, but that's not the case with Abney. Really capable with both of the pitches that he's shown. See if he can retire the batter here.
1-2 slider blocked well behind the plate with Rice. He's done well with the bat this week, but behind the plate as well, he's been excellent. Seeing him in game action, he's still trying to tune up there. That's a hard position to play, especially in a wood bat league. He's playing behind the dish. 2-2 pitch. Fouled away by Gaunt. He'll see another. So back to Ryan Hannigan. In his career, he had a .251 average with 30 home runs and 214 RBIs. That's not too shabby for a major league catcher, especially someone who was known for his defensive prowess before his bat. But 10-year career, hats off to him, and a great alumnus of the Lexington Blue Sox, as the count is full at 3-2 for Gaunt.
Yeah, always cool to see guys that come from this area, make names for themselves, play in these small organizations, and bring notoriety to these teams, because the fans that live in Lexington, just like the fans that live in Cotuit, thoroughly enjoy those baseball games.
And there's the first strikeout for Alaska Abney. Swing and a miss from Gage Gaunt. Second out of the inning.
Way to pick his spots. Found the outside corner, got him to fan and miss, and that's been the pitch that Lexington hasn't been able to lay off. We saw it with Jacobson. We saw it a little bit less with Brooks, but that outside fastball that just catches the corner, especially when it's elevated, they try to launch, go underneath, and can't catch up to it.
And there's a super slider from Abney, the one that we talked about. It's 0-1 for Logan Brava, who has already been a strikeout victim to Will Jacobson. Now he has to face a completely different styled pitcher as he pops that one out of play, and that'll make it 0-2.
Yeah, you mentioned the strikeouts, and now that's 4 of the Lexington Blue Sox that have fallen victim to the strikeout, but silver lining, all of them have been swinging strikes. 5 strikeouts, 4 batters, of course with Gage Gaunt striking out twice.
Now the 0-2 pitch from Abney. Runs a little bit inside, making it 1-2. Coach Mike Roberts behind the plate, filming his pitchers. There's a few scouts here to watch the Kettleers play before the season starts on Sunday, as that slider is roped into left field, and that'll drop in for a base hit. Schreck misplayed it. And the first hit of the game belongs to Logan Brava of the Blue Sox.
Yeah, it's really hard to tell how that ball is moving, especially with the sunlight beating down. Since getting up to the Cape, it's really interesting to see the sun goes down so much later than back down in Florida and rises so much earlier in the morning. So good job by Schreck to judge that ball, let it hit the ground, and not try and be your hero. Give up the first hit of the game for the Blue Sox, concede the base runner instead of letting him get extra bases.
Ryan Cervoni takes a pitch outside. His last time up, he skied one to right field that Dylan Beavers ultimately put away a few steps shy of the warning track. But some power here for the Blue Sox.
Yeah, Beavers had to make a couple adjustments to that fly ball, just like we were talking about with Schreck and left. Hard to judge where these balls are going.
As there was a nice slider there, swing and miss. Back ahead is Alaska Abney. Jones led off the inning with a fly out to center, then Gage Gaunt struck out swinging, a base hit to Brava, and here we are with Cervoni. 1-2 delivery and a swing and miss, strike 3. 2 strikeouts in the inning for Alaska Abney. That's about as much as you can ask for the sidearm thrower. We head to the bottom of the 4th where the Kettleers lead 1-0. Back at Lowell Park here in the bottom of the 4th where Kyle Murphy's day is done. 1 run against him from the Kettleers, and now the Kettleers have a unique chance to face a former Cotuit Kettleer that came from Emory University and then Duke as a graduate student. Richard Brereton will be on to pitch for the Blue Stocks of Lexington. He will actually wear his number 26 jersey in Kettleers, so what a great thing here at this exhibition game to see him pitch in front of the scouts one more time at Lowell Park.
Yeah, he spent 4 years at Emory, which is a Division III college, and then last year he was at Duke. Not the best numbers in terms of ERA over 16 2/3 innings, but one silver lining that you can take away, 25 strikeouts in those 16 2/3. So definitely capable, good at commanding his pitches when he needs to, and it's exciting for him to come back to Lowell Park and show what he has.
And he'll face a formidable opponent, Brooks Baldwin, who grounded out to second base his first time up in the first inning. And Baldwin will take that low and inside, making it 1-0.
Expect the fastball to sit around 94, 95 miles an hour, plus speed, good command. Interesting to see that hitters have been able to catch up with it as well as they have.
As he battles back to make it 1-1. Baldwin fouls that into the netting on the left side. This is a very cool situation for Brereton coming back to Lowell Park. Of course, playing for the opposition just this once. But he gets to take his chances at the newest crop of 2021 Kettleers. And right there, he got Baldwin to swing and miss on strike 2.
And that's the flamethrower, You see that late break back to the outside, the heat. It's got to be such a tough pitch for a left-handed hitter to catch up to.
1-2 pitch to Baldwin. And a great start from Brereton. He retires, Baldwin swinging, and that's the first out of the 4th.
Certainly making the most of his opportunity. That high and inside fastball, Baldwin couldn't catch up to it. This is one of those situations, who is Coach Roberts rooting for more? It's a bit of a conflict of interest, right? You have to want your new players to do really well, but a member of the 2019 championship team coming out, pitching once again at Lowell Park. Very exciting possibility for him in front of these MLB scouts.
And what is also very impressive is Brereton's going right at him as he's ahead 0-2. Shrek fouls that one away to the same place he did on the first pitch. And another chance to possibly strike out a Kettleers batter. And this is the one opposing pitcher that I feel like Kettleers fans are going to root for. Shrek, his last time up, walked and later scored the lone run of the game. The 0-2 pitch. Fastball upstairs, making it 1-2. You talk about Brereton, but you can't talk about Brereton without mentioning Rick DeAngelis, who's the head coach of the Blue Sox in his 26th season, as the 1-2 comes in and misses outside. DeAngelis, as we said before, played for Cotuit in 1968. They have a wonderful relationship, these two teams, and all first class to let Brereton come out and showcase his skills here in the fourth inning at Lowell Park.
Couldn't be more right, Chris.
And the 2-2 pitch is spoiled. He'll see another.
DeAngelis really has fostered this relationship with Cotuit. So much can be said about that relationship in particular because so many players, I mean, we spoke with Ron Darling in the offseason, and he remembered his time with Cotuit and all the things that he learned in his summer here and how beneficial it was for his major league career. This game might not have been played if DeAngelis has gone to another team. It may be Orleans versus the Lexington Blue Sox tonight, but Cotuit and their fans are lucky enough to get to see an exhibition game, a tune-up, if you will, right before the season starts on Sunday. A lot of that has to do with the amicable relationship of Rick DeAngelis and Mike Roberts.
Here's another 2-2 pitch, and that's grounded up the middle past the glove of Plank, and a base hit for R.J. Shrek. He's chugging for second and slams on the brakes, heads back to first. Third single of the game for the Kettleers comes from R.J. Shrek in the fourth inning, and now it'll be Nathan Martarella for the second time this game.
R.J. Shrek doing exactly what Cole Cummings did back in the first inning, taking that huge turn around first base, then slamming on the brakes. That's how Coach Roberts motivates his players. That's how he wants them to play.
Runner goes. Throw down to second is not in time. A late call safe and a stolen base for R.J. Shrek. I was just about to ask you, Steph, if they were going to use the hit and run once again, but the fastball was up and away, and Shrek bagged second base to put himself in scoring position with one out here in the fourth inning.
Yep, call that individual offense. No shift on for Martarella again. He poked one out into right field his last time up, but Shrek's really trying to get in the head of the pitcher.
1-0 to Martarella. That will drop in for a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike with 1 out, and R.J. Shrek at second base for Cotuit.
Yep, it's these opportunities that are going to really define a team. 1 out, runner in scoring position. See if Martarella can time one up and poke it into the outfield.
That one's in the dirt, dealt with well by Plank. No further advance from Shrek.
Yeah, Plank has been very steady-handed back there. If a ball gets away, this backstop is so far away from home plate, it's for sure a base.
If not more. And Brereton is forced to step off because Shrek strayed too far away from second base and quickly scampered back.
I mean, just look at that secondary lead that he takes.
2-1 to Martarella. Crosses him up for a strike, and now the count will be even at 2-2. Two-two pitch. Close pitch, but inside it'll run the count full at 3-2.
Yeah, you started to hear the groans. The faithful for the Blue Sox or the Kettleers, who knows with this guy on the mound. Thought that was a strike, but 3-2's the count now.
3-2 pitch from Brereton. That gets all the way to the wall. Shrek will not take third base, and that'll be a walk for Martarella. I wonder what that was about.
Curious. Might be that Coach Roberts has something up his sleeve. I know during the scrimmage, the inter-team scrimmage, he was having the guys play situations, so maybe first and second with one out was a situation he wants to target. So expect something wonky here, maybe laying down a bunt or a double steal.
Here's Ben Rice for the second time. He struck out looking in the second inning. And he'll take one up and away, making it 1-0. Kettleers lead 1-0. As that one is low. 2 balls and no strikes for number 25. Rice is a tall catcher standing at 6 feet 3 inches. Plenty of power from the left side if he can get a hold of one. 1-0 pitch. Skies that one up in play. Plank moving back. And he cannot make the play. The sun caused problems in the second inning for the second baseman of the Blue Sox. And now for Plank. Lucky break there for the Kettleers catcher.
Yeah, definitely. New life for Ben Rice. And, I was just about to say, catcher is going to be one of those positions to look out for the Kettleers. Three catchers officially on the roster right now. It's going to be a battle to figure out who's going to be the man behind the dish for the majority of the games, but expect all of them to get sprinkled in at certain times.
And the 2-1 pitch falls in for a strike. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out with Schreck at second and Martarella at first after that walk by Brereton.
Yep, Rice had an opportunity with runners in scoring position his last time up, runners on second and third.
Schreck goes, swing and a miss, no throw down to second, but a double steal works. Now there's 2 outs for Eric Brown. But you guessed it, Steph. I think Coach Roberts wanted Rice to put a bat on the ball and possibly get a hit-and-run situation, but he'll take it. Now 2 runners in scoring position to try and extend the lead here in the fourth for the Chanticleer standing in for the second time.
Yeah, I went to a fortune teller today, and she told me that with 2 outs in the bottom of the fourth inning, there was going to be a double steal, so can't give all the credit to me.
And good pitching from Brereton so far. I mean, mind you, he did give up a walk and a base hit, but 2 swinging strikeouts, throwing the ball hard, caused some trouble for the Kettleers, and now it's up to Eric Brown if they want to make anything out of this bottom of the fourth offensively. The 0-1 pitch. In the dirt, that'll get all the way to the wall. Schreck's going to come in to score easily. That's run number 2 for the Kettleers. And the wall causes some problems. Martarella will advance to third. And now Brown can only drive in 1 player, unless he hits a home run, of course. And he is one of those guys that is able to put the ball out of the yard if he gets a hold of it.
Yeah, interesting situation on the scoreboard. Neither run has been batted in by the Kettleers. One came from an error. The other, just another pitching error, wild pitch, got back to the backstop. So no RBIs, but 2 runs have come across for the Kets, and that may be enough with how well the pitching staff is doing. Certainly Coach Roberts wants the bats to come to life a little bit more in these situations.
1-2 pitch from Brereton. Up and away. Now it'll make it 2 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 outs. Here's the pitch. Grounded to short. Gaunt, another chance to throw to first, and he will get Brown for the 3rd out of the inning. Nice piece of pitching from Brereton as we head to the top of the 5th on the Kettleers Digital Network.
Stephen Carey, joined by my brother Chris Carey, where it is a 2-0 ball game, which came by way of 2 errors. Chris?
Yeah, Richard Brereton came out for the 4th inning against the Kettleers, did great work, gave up just a base hit and a walk, and then that later scored R.J. Schreck after a couple stolen bases, but solid pitching. The walk didn't cause too much trouble, and then a wild pitch scored, but it was mostly very good from the former Kettleer. And now Alaska Abney back to work on the defensive side for Cotuit.
Yeah, Brereton was expected to come in and start when we got the text this morning about his story, but coming in, getting to pitch at a stadium where he's made so many positive memories, so good to see him come. Obviously, he wishes it would have been a clean slate. May still have more opportunities to showcase himself later on in this game. But for now, it's Alaska Abney, the 3rd pitcher for the Kettleers, with a 1-1 count to Andrew Kennefic, who struck out his last time up.
And Abney has looked very comfortable. I mean, you talk about a guy who throws a fastball and a slider and is able to have good command thus far. You know, in his last inning of work, he gave a hit up against Logan Brava, but it wasn't hard hit. It was a looping single to left field. And then he had a pair of strikeouts and a fly out to center.
Just like that, Kennefic is victim to the strikeout bug, his 2nd of the game. Here in the top of the 5th inning, Abney with his 3rd in just 2 innings. Or should I say 1 1/3? Give him all the credit where credit's due.
Yeah, and a guy like that, a sidearm submariner, mostly sidearm guy, it's hard to read the pitch out of the hand. I mean, they have to react a lot quicker because pitches like that come in where it's just a very hard cutting slider at the end, late action, and then you have the fastball that can dot inside, outside, up in the corners. Just great work by Abney so far.
A lot more horizontal movement coming out of the arm of a sidearmer. The 1-1 misses low and inside, 1-1. It's Will Pot-Devin's turn here in the 5th. Grounded out to 3rd base his last time up. Lots of right-handed batters for the Blue Sox. Pot-Devin fouls that one away, 1-2. Blue Sox coming into today's game with an Intercity League record of 4-1. That's good for 2nd place in that league. But tomorrow, they'll go and face the number 1 team in the league, the Middlesex Expos, who are ranked 6-1. Chris, did you know this about the Intercity League? They use the point system.
Yeah, you showed me that earlier today, and it's resemblant of MLS and over in England. And I like that system. It definitely makes your wins more valuable. And when you don't have as many teams, it makes more sense to use that. But you know, here at the Cape Cod League, it is very rooted in the past, the way that they do it. And, you know, I wouldn't have it any other way here. But for the Intercity League, it works. It works very, very well. So here they have another chance to play against, I mean, on paper, a very, very good team before they face the number 1 team in their own league tomorrow.
2-2 on its way. Bounced over to the right side. Brown will field it. Easy throw to first, and just like that, 2 are down in the top of the 5th inning.
And this is what I think Coach Mike Roberts wanted to see from Alaska Abney. Not only pitching to strikeout, but also pitching to contact. When you're a guy who's most likely going to be a reliever for this team, the ability to get it to your very strong defensive infielders when it's Ritter and Brown or some iteration of that, whether they switch off or whomever is over there, it will be a great thing to see if he can put the ball on the ground just as much as he strikes people out.
Cam Plank just swung out of his shoes on the first pitch. Big hip movement towards the left field side. And Abney's movement really showcasing that late break to the outside for right-handed hitters. So difficult to time up.
And he does that right there again. Steph, that's the front door slider that we haven't gotten to talk about. Is it looks like it's about to hit him right before it breaks in, about 2 feet before it juts back to the outside, and it is just such a pretty pitch. Almost like a Frisbee slider, to tell you the truth.
1-1. Big cut. I could feel the breeze like that. It was a breaking ball that started to die about 2 feet before the plate, just like you were saying.
That was nasty. It looked like a changeup. I mean, it dropped back to the right side in. It wasn't a fastball. It was a little bit off speed, and Abney hasn't shown that much and goes back with it again.
There's his 4th strikeout of his outing. Alaska Abney goes 1-2-3 in the top of the 5th. We'll be back on the Kettleers Digital Network. Second inning of work, the former 2019 Cotuit Kettleers champion wants to showcase his skills out on the mound, and we're certainly excited to get to watch him here in this exhibition game at Lowell Park. Before we get to him, Chris, we were talking about the point system and how it's used in the Intercity League. So different from what we've seen in baseball, a lot more of a European idea. What's different about the point system in this league versus in soccer leagues in Europe is you aren't not rewarded for losses. You are only given points for wins. So 2 points for every win instead of getting 3 and then 1 for a loss or 1 for a tie. Obviously, there's no tying in baseball, just like there's no crying in baseball. But 8 points for 4 wins is the total that the Lexington Blue Sox have amassed.
Yeah, it's definitely a good model to go after, and for that league, like we've said before, it works so well. And this team's going to have to get a lot of points. Then they play Middlesex tomorrow. They're hoping to get 2 points there. That would make it double-digit points for them, maybe going 5-1. Now, they don't even need to think about this game, but technically, if they won this game without counting the record, it would be 6-1. But, of course, this is just an exhibition game. So, you know, plenty of action here up in the Northeast and in the Boston area if you want to catch a game for the Blue Sox. They're certainly a talented team so far.
Ryan Ritter shoots one to right field. Leaping grab made by Racis. And Ritter took that one for a ride, but an excellent defensive play out in right field for the first out of the inning.
And that was nice inside-out swing from Ryan Ritter. You know, he tried to poke a gap, and Racis came on and had to leap for the ball. But this is more about getting bat to ball, getting your cuts in, seeing some live pitching. And Brereton, if he can pitch to contact as well, that would be a wonderful thing for him in front of these scouts.
Fouled away by Plastiak towards the Blue Sox dugout. But positive sign, they're working the ball to all fields. Ritter, inside-out swing, pushing it out to right field. Hardest hit ball I think we've seen since Dylan Beavers took one for a ride out in center field. Of course, that was caught near the warning track. But certainly positive to see these guys getting acclimated to the wood bat, which is often the biggest concern for these offensive players.
And I mean, Kettleers fans are a little spoiled, right? Because in this situation, we get a game before everybody else does. So we have one more game to adjust to the wood bat than most teams do. So this is a very unique and great opportunity for these hitters.
Plastiak doesn't get the call. Inside strike 1 and 2. Looked like, well, you know, there's reasons why I'm not the umpire. Chokes up, trying to catch up to that high speed. Off the end of the bat. Poked out into center. That's going to get down. Plastiak has a base hit with 1 out in the 5th inning.
Off the bat, it looked like it would just be a looping, shallow pop-out to Gone at short, and he knew. It's just a little flare out to center field. Got his bat on ball to an outside pitch. And the Kettleers once again have a base runner with just 1 out.
Tommy Seidel up for the 3rd time, back to the top of the Kettleers order. He reached on a fielding error by the shortstop his last time up.
And these were two grounders to short. First time he wasn't so lucky. The second time couldn't be corralled by Gaunt. So he's been pulling the ball over to the left center side of the infield. Be nice to see him poke one through the big gap between second and first, the covering Brava.
Fastball outside, called a strike, 1-1. You see Plastiak over at first base really trying to get in the head of Brereton, just like some of his other teammates, trying to be a nuisance on the base paths. Plastiak is going. He slides in, throw gets away, he gets into second, but doesn't reach far enough into the outfield for him to advance any further. So Plastiak steals second base, and Seidel has a chance with a runner in scoring position to extend the lead to 3.
And there has been no shortage of stolen bases here through 4 and some change of innings for the Kettleers. And now Seidel, perfect opportunity here to possibly drive in Plastiak from second base if he can put the bat on the ball with a 1-2 count.
Seidel chops one over to the third base side, but foul. And it'll stay at 1-2.
And Steph, it'll be interesting to see going forward. As we've talked about, this is a game for the Kettleers to see what their personnel has with the wood bat. After Seidel, I believe Beavers will come up again and possibly throughout the game. But after that, they may start employing new players defensively and offensively through the third time bout because they may want to get those guys 2 or 3 at-bats.
Going again, no throw. And it looks like Jacob Plastiak is generating instant offense, poked one out into center, and stole 2 bases.
Yep, there was absolutely no play. Great jump from Plastiak sliding into third base. And now with 1 out, it's an even better situation for Seidel to loop one into the outfield and possibly get it deep enough to score Plastiak at third for the 3rd run of the game.
Infield playing in. Seidel does just that. He'll send it out to left field, plenty deep enough. And here comes Plastiak. He'll come in to score for the 3rd run of the game. Tommy Seidel bats in the 1st run of the season for the Kettleers, if you count this game. Definitely the 1st run on paper.
Good sacrifice fly and at-bat from Tommy Seidel. Actually put it deeper than we thought it did. It was much like the other at-bat with Jacob Plastiak, who looped that into center. We thought it was just going to go to short, but here, Seidel was a hard hit fly ball.
Dylan Beavers sends one out into center field. That's going to get down. He's rounding first, coming into second. He'll get in there standing up. We knew Dylan Beavers had the possibility to send one out into the outfield, but there we got to see it without the defender making a play.
Yeah, just shot the gap there in right center field. You got to give credit to Races coming on to try and make a diving play, but that snuck through, and Beavers was almost immediately at second when it landed. He had so much speed heading there. He probably could have gotten to third if it wasn't for the quick recovery of Races and Fritz backing up in center field.
Looks like a little stoppage going on here. Cole Cummings scheduled to come back up, but no, it's going to be John Rhodes, the center fielder out of the University of Kentucky, out of Chattanooga, Tennessee, with an opportunity to bring home the 4th run of the game.
Yeah, there's a couple of Kentucky players featured already. It went Plastiak, it went Ritter, Plastiak, and then a couple of players, and now Rhodes. So they are all going to be able to bat together this inning and possibly put something together for the Kettleers.
First pitch Rhodes sees is a breaking ball to the outside, 1-0. Interestingly enough, Cummings is still in the batter's box. This is one of those different things as Beavers makes a break for third. He'll slide in safely, and stealing bases is something that the Kettleers are doing awfully well in their first time as a team.
And that was a close play. Good throw down there from Plank. Didn't have enough velocity to get there before Beavers slid in with his right foot. But another steal for the Kettleers and a good situation for John Rhodes.
Now a 1-2 count after that big swing and miss. Pressure is on Brereton not to throw a pass ball. That's how the 2nd run of the game came in. Now allowed 2 runs, both of them earned, but really has done a pretty good job It's been unfortunate. But John Rhodes is rung up on strikes. Brereton gets out of the inning, but the Kettleers extend their lead to 3. We'll be back on the Kettleers Digital Network. We're already through 5, on to the 6th inning, and it's Justin Mice on the mound. Alaska Abney, 4 strikeouts over 2 innings. About as good as you can ask for a guy to come in the middle of the game, only allow 1 hit, let your defense do the work. Excellent showing for the kid from Lawrenceville, Georgia.
Yeah, every Kettleer has done pretty well. They've had some shaky starts, a few of them. Alaska Abney was just so technical in his pitches, found his stride through 2 innings, and now Justin Mice's turn to get it going.
Couple of defensive changes. John Rhodes will take over in center for Tommy Seidel, who brought home the 3rd run of the game with a sacrifice fly last inning. And Matt Donlin will take over as the catcher for Ben Rice. We said that this catcher competition was going to be one to watch out for, one of the more exciting and intriguing storylines here at Lowell Park. So we'll see how Donlin responds. First pitch from Mice, weak contact over to Ritter. He'll fire across in time to Klassen. Looks like Eric Brown has taken over at shortstop.
And Brett Roberts is over at second base now. We knew that there would be a couple of changes defensively. And there's one more change as well. Klassen is over at first base.
Will be more on the ball as the season progresses, folks.
Yeah, it's spring training for us. It's been a while. Blake Klassen over at first base. So the majority of the infield, other than, it seems, Cummings, has been taken over by new players. Brown moves to shortstop, Klassen at first, Cummings at third, and Brett Roberts at second base.
To the top of the order we go with John Fritz. Struck out and grounded into a 5-4-3 double play his last time up. Mice, pretty good start. 1 pitch, 1 out on weak contact to the shortstop. 1-2. Another bit of weak contact. Back to the pitcher. He'll flip to Klassen in time. So we talked about it. Pitchers that are able to get weak contact, soft ground ball outs, as well as throw the strikeouts, are the guys that are really going to be the headliners for the Kettleers this season.
Yeah, absolutely, and especially relievers. The guys that can pitch to contact and also pitch to strike out, much like Abney did and now like Mice is doing right now, are really, really valuable players in the Cape League, especially considering it's going to be a slower start for the hitters with the wood bats. They're going to make more soft contact. So if they can force them to make that even more and make that more consistent throughout once we hit July and August, hopefully later in August, if we're lucky, it'll be great for the Kettleers.
Brendan Jones with his third time up. Foul tips one to bring it to 1-2.
I'd like to mention that they've been working on PFPs in the earlier practices, and Mice was one of the members working on those pitcher fielding practices before this game.
And he strikes out Brendan Jones. 1-2-3 inning for Mice, and the pitching dominance continues here at Lowell Park. We'll be back on the Cats Digital Network. Bottom six here at Lowell, and we're receiving information on the current pitcher on the mound. What we do know is he's a hard-throwing southpaw with a blue glove. So we're trying to figure that out. His name is Justin Wells. He's aboard to relieve.
I would like to thank our wonderful media advisory committee here. Jack Roberts, Owen Zides, and of course Will Thompson for getting us that information. Typically on the roster they would have different numbers, but of course it's a great cause for number 3 and Pete Frates. Another thing about Frates, in 2014 he received the Inspiration of the Year award by Sports Illustrated. He started the ALS Ice Bucket Challenge among plenty of other things. A true captain on and off the field, and he will be missed.
Without question. Now we have Wells at the mound, facing a left-handed hitter in Cole Cummings. Pretty interesting. We were talking about this last inning. John Rhodes came in to hit for Cummings and struck out. But now Cummings is back up. And in a typical game, he would have been subbed out. He would have not have been able to be eligible to come into play. But he's back out hitting because you got to get those extra cuts here in these exhibition games. Faces a 1-1 count. Big looping breaking ball, misses low and away, 2-1.
And from a lefty-heavy lineup, you're going to start seeing more and more right-handed pitchers come up against Wells. But Cummings, who already has a single in this game, they might want to see what he looks like against the left-handed pitcher.
Lefty-lefty matchup. This one's lifted into shallow left field. Gaunt makes the play, and that's the first out of the inning. So now it's Brooks Baldwin's turn. Grounded out to second and struck out in his first 2 at-bats of the game. Let's see if anything's different when he faces a pitcher from the left side. Big looping curveball falls in for a strike, 0-1.
Yeah, it looks like Wells has almost exclusively used breaking balls against these Kettleers hitters, so good practice for them, timing up things other than fastballs and changeups.
0-1 pitch. Once again in the dirt, the appeal to first. He did not go, so the count is at 1-1. Different mentality as a relief pitcher to come in and see these guys throw off-speed pitches, throw their hooks. As the 1-1 is fought off by Baldwin. But different from a starter that enters the game, he doesn't want to give away his knockout punch, his secondary, tertiary pitches. As a reliever, you can come in and throw whatever you want, essentially without consequence.
Yeah, and part of the reason that they're keeping Baldwin in is because he's a switch hitter, one of the switch hitters on this team, batting for both the left and right side. So getting his cuts from the right side is very important for Coach Mike Roberts to see as well, just as much as from the left side.
Certainly one of the biggest tools that you can utilize is having a batter that can hit from both sides of the plate. The 2-2. Softly tapped towards the Kettleers dugout, and it'll stay there. Brereton's day over with Wells coming on the mound. 2 runs, both of them earned, but was also credited with 3 strikeouts. The 2-2. Fastball upstairs. That may be the first fastball, the first real fastball that we've seen. Typically when you're in a 2-2 count, you want to try and get yourself ahead, just like with any other pitch. But he didn't have the best command with that. He's had much better command with the off-speed pitches. 3-2. Fanned on by Baldwin. So Wells gets his man, and 2 are down for the Kettleers with R.J. Schreck coming to the plate.
So we're just moving 1 more down each time, Steph. So it was going to be Cole Cummings, but then Rhodes came in, and then they moved Cummings down in Baldwin's spot, and then Baldwin came in Schreck's spot, and now Schreck is going to hit in Martarella's spot.
Certainly going to be an interesting-looking scorebook after this game's over. Schreck has reached base both times. Light single out to center field his last time up, and a walk in the second inning. He shows bunt but pulls back.
And I wouldn't be surprised here if Wells decides to give him a bunch of sliders away, see what Schreck can pull the trigger on. If anything, try and get him to hit it to the opposite field.
1-0. Schreck, high fly ball lifted out to right field. Ranging back is Racist, and that's over the wall. A home run for R.J. Schreck. 4-0, and that ball just kept carrying. Deep part of the ballpark, 320 to right field. That's probably about 340, 350 out to right center.
Yeah, Schreck unloaded on that pitch. He left it up, middle, and Schreck didn't miss it to right center field. First home run of the year unofficially for the Kettleers, and R.J. Schreck makes the 4th run of the game for Cotuit. Touch 'em all, number 40.
Only the second run batted in today's contest, a 4-0 lead. The first 2 came from errors. The second 2 came from Tommy Seidel's sac fly, and of course that blast from R.J. Schreck. So now it would be Nathan Martarella, but Klassen comes in to replace him, batting from the left side. Another one of those competitions at first base to see who's going to get the starting job as the season begins on Sunday.
Interested to see why there's so many left-handed bats being featured against a left-handed pitcher. I mean, you saw what Shrek was able to do, and now look at Blake Klassen.
Klassen shoots one over the third baseman to the opposite field. He puts on the brakes, chugs to second, but decides to turn back to first and settle with a base hit with 2 outs.
Good work by Klassen there. Inside-out swing. Poking that to the opposite field. Light contact, and he gets his hit in his first at-bat as a Kettleer. And it looks like the Kettleers offense is firing on all cylinders here in the bottom of the 6th inning.
Definitely a lot to be excited about for Coach, bringing in some guys, instant juice to the offense. And it would be one thing if he was seeing the same guy over and over and over again, if he was still seeing Kyle Murphy, because it's expected a hitter to start catching on to a pitcher's tendencies the third time through the order. But this is a reliever, a guy they haven't seen all game long. So for RJ Schreck to take him deep and for Klassen to get that base hit is certainly a welcome sign. With Matt Donlin standing in the box for his first time up.
Donlin's one of those guys that's known for his defensive abilities behind the plate. He's one of the best defensive catchers in the country. And now we'll see what he'll be able to do with his bat this summer for the Kettleers.
Donlin skies one into no man's land. That's going to get down. The sun continuing to be an issue as here's the throw over to third. Klassen gets in safely, and everybody's benefiting from the sunlight. But the age-old rule that comes back to haunt broadcasters has just been put into effect. The infield fly rule is what's going to be called, and Donlin will be called out.
That's very interesting. I'm not too sure if it was the infield fly rule, Steph, or is that they overran on the base paths together because one held up and the other didn't. I'm not sure what happened there because it landed in the outfield, but you know what? It's an exhibition game, and now it's time for the 7th inning, so be that as it may. It's 4-0 Kettleers in the top of the 7th inning after a solo home run from Cotuit's own RJ Schreck. He hit that to right center field, making it 4-0. 7 hits for the Kettleers, only 1 for the Blue Sox, and now we will see another pitcher for the Kettleers. It's Dalton Radans from Wofford College, an Ackworth Georgia. Another side armor for Cotuit, and another person for Coach Roberts to employ this season to try and get batters fooled. The first person he will face is Gage Gaunt, the shortstop from the University of Arts and Sciences in Oklahoma, the NAIA school, and he's played very well defensively. Hasn't found his stride offensively yet. 2 strikeouts to his name thus far. And a slow roller to the pitcher. Rhodes will throw down over to first, and Klassen will make the catch for the first out of the inning. 1 pitch, 1 out for Gaunt, and a new hitter for the Blue Sox.
Yeah, weak contact starting to be a character trait for this relief corps for the Kettleers. You saw the exact same thing happen when Alaska Abney came in the game. Excuse me, should I say Justin Mice came in the game. But quite a few substitutions coming in here for the Blue Sox. Chris Offord will take over at second base. Ryan Grease over at first. Alex McDonough in left field. Tommy Analetto at third base. And George Anthonisitis behind the plate with Ben Gesmond now in right. So get excited for new guys coming in for the Blue Sox if you're a Blue Sox fan.
And now the 1-1 to Grease is laid off. Leaves it up at 2-1 with 1 out. Have to thank Will Thompson once again for the new roster. They basically subbed everybody, but you just can't tell with everyone wearing the number 3 jerseys as Grease tries to unload on that pitch. Rhodes left it low, and now it's 2 balls and 2 strikes with 1 out.
Simply a very similar case here with the Blue Sox. They're only 5 games into their season, 2 games canceled, 4-1 record. They want to find out who their guys are as well, especially leading into the game tomorrow. If you want to get some of your bats hot and ready for a very important matchup against Middlesex, you have to get these guys prepped against good live pitching.
2-2 pitch is skied out of play, and Grease will see another. So looking at this roster, basically every player other than Fritz and Gage Gaunt has been changed on the field. Andrew Kenefick will stay in at DH. But other than that, plenty of new Blue Sox to see in this game for the next 3 innings as Grease lifts that one high and out of play in right field. Good at-bat here for number 3. Two-two pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Second out of the inning for Dalton Rhodes. And this one comes from a swinging strikeout, soft contact and a strikeout. What more can you want, Coach Roberts?
Yeah, absolutely. The pitchers have had their best possible outing. Only 1 hit allowed, combined between now 5 different arms.
As Alex McDonough fans and misses on that pitch. No balls, 1 strike, 2 outs in the top of the 7th inning for Alex McDonough. And another slider makes it 0-2. Quickly ahead is Dalton Rhodes.
Really trying to work that outside corner. You see that with that pitch that's cutting across, trying to find some type of rhythm against right-handed hitters so they can't extend their arms, let it inside, and let loose.
As Rhodes gets him to swing and miss, and that will end the top of the 7th inning. We go to the 7th inning stretch and send it down to our sideline reporter, Lauren Kirkley, for her 7th inning report. Great work from Lauren Kirkley once again in the 7th inning. We look at a new pitcher that we don't have the name for, but we're just going to go with it, guys. So Eric Brown will stand in for the 3rd time this game. He wants to get his cuts in against the unnamed relief pitcher wearing the number 3 jersey. Surprise, surprise there. Chris Carey and Stephen Carey now in the bottom of the 7th inning where the Kettleers lead 4-0 with plenty of defensive changes that we've already marked out. Thanks, Will Thompson, for that. The Kettleers still looking to add on more offensively. We're going to see a lot of different pinch hitters in the last stretch of these innings. I have a feeling we may see a 3rd catcher in Matt McCormick come up, possibly down the road. He's the only catcher that hasn't played yet, player out of West Virginia. And Eric Brown, now over at shortstop, started the game at second base. Brett Roberts now at second. He'll face the unnamed pitcher.
Yep, Eric Brown coming in to hit. And I think we should name the pitcher just for our own sanity. I think we should name him like John Smith or something.
I mean, I'm okay with calling him number 3.
That's true, but a lot of guys on the field could take credit for that.
Yeah, technically so, as number 3 gets Eric Brown to ground that one to short, and it is bobbled by Gaunt once again. Brown reaches base for the 2nd time in this game. He reached on an error at second base that dropped in to score a run, and I didn't even see him on the on-deck circle. Matt McCormick is going to be going after Brett Roberts, so Eric Brown on first. We'll see Brett Roberts. Interesting news for Brett Roberts, who came from Tennessee Tech. He just announced his transfer to Florida State University, so he's going from a mid-major school to now play for a powerhouse baseball school in the Atlantic Coast Conference. So congratulations to Brett Roberts, and he'll be able to showcase his talent here at Cotuit all year long over at second base or at short, maybe even in the outfield. The level of talent that has been shown, Peter Flaherty Jr. has said, is tremendous. 2 balls and no strikes for Brett Roberts against the unnamed pitcher.
Yeah, expect some action on the base paths here. It's like Murphy's Law. Whatever can happen will happen.
Brown's going to go, and there will be no throw to second base. Another stolen base for the Kettleers, and a 3-0 count for Brett Roberts. Seems like a good situation to possibly swing the bat if they can leave it over the middle.
Well, and he just proved my point. Whenever you can steal, you will steal under Coach Mike Roberts. You really like to see being aggressive on the base paths, and you saw it discombobulated the catcher. He couldn't hang on to it.
And Roberts will jump over this pitch. Coming on is Grease, and he will make the catch in foul ground, almost tumbling over. Good play by number 3. Roberts can't bring Brown home, but a plus-powered catcher in Matt McCormick batting for the first time this game might be able to do the trick.
McCormick, another one of those guys that's trying to show his skills and his ability. Curious if this is a DH situation or...
Brown goes again, and this time another throw will not be thrown behind the plate.
Yeah, great jump there by Brown. Got to run on a breaking ball to the outside, and there's just no chance you're getting Eric Brown with his speed from second to third.
And the 0-1 pitch dropped. It will be a ball and a strike with 1 out, and Eric Brown at third base for Matt McCormick.
Anthony Ciatis really having some difficulty there with these breaking pitches, especially with Eric Brown being as aggressive as he is.
And a big cut there from McCormick. It'll make it 1 ball and 2 strikes. So much depth to this Kettleers roster and a lot of speed. It'll be interesting to see when the Cape League schedule starts how much Coach Roberts decides to steal these players. As they say, McCormick did not go all the way. It'll be evened up at 2-2.
Yeah, as you start to see more of the Cape League guys having better pop times, more comfortability with throwdowns to second, you could expect that maybe he'll be a little bit more strategic with how he's running his guys, but if I know anything about Coach Roberts, it's that he doesn't play games. Whatever he does, there's a reason for it, there's an indicator for why he does it, and it's very well thought out. So expect to see a lot of running, a lot of stolen bases
here in the league. 3-2 pitch, and that is tipped into the glove of Athanasiadis for the second out. McCormick goes down on strikes, and now John Rhodes will step in for the second time. Except this time he's stepping in for Dylan Beavers. So Rhodes is actually stepping in for Tommy Seidel, who was playing center field, but beforehand he was in for Cole Cummings, I believe, as he takes a big swing and misses at 0-1. No balls, one strike. Breaking ball in the dirt, blocked well by Athanasiadis. Eric Brown still waiting at third.
Yeah,
Maybe Rhodes can be the guy to drive him in.
Rhodes has another chance with runners in scoring position. He's one of these guys that has plus power. We've seen him in batting practice, and we've seen him during practices. If he gets a hold of one, that ball's going to go a long, long way. Similar argument to Dylan Beavers, but this time from the right side. So, chance to showcase himself. Class of 2023, a younger kid.
1-2 pitch. Breaking ball lifted high and deep to left field. Moving back is McDonough at the track. At the wall. It is gone. John Rhodes, a 2-run home run. And just like that, it's 6-0 Cotuit. That's what happens when you throw the breaking ball to the star center fielder from Kentucky. He didn't miss that one. And now Cotuit with their 8th hit and their 6th run.
What did I tell you? What did I say would happen if you can let him get a barrel on the bat? Excuse me, barrel on the ball, because he took that ball and it was an absolute moonshot.
So Rhodes atones for the strikeout last time, and the inning is extended for Dylan Beavers, who already has a double in this game. 1-0 pitch to Dylan Beavers, and he jumps all over the second pitch. Moving over is Fritz. This time it will stay in the yard, much resemblant to his first at-bat in the first inning. But 2 more runs come in to score for the Kettleers. It's 6-0 as we move to the 8th on the Kettleers Digital Network. Light chopper over to second. Brett Roberts charges and underhand tosses it to first for the second out. Soft contact, strikeout, 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 soft contact. That's how it's been so far for Dalton Radan through an inning and 2/3. And he would like to get rid of George Anthonisitis as quickly as possible so the Kettleers offense can come back here in the bottom of the 8th.
Look at that pitch. Just great frisbee movement. Horizontal with the side armor. That break is so aggressive to the outside. Donlin doing a great job of framing the ball where it will be. A lot like a receiver in football. You have to let the quarterback lead you. That's where Donlin's always setting his glove up, just a little bit outside of where he thinks it's going to end up.
1-1 pitch. Front door slider once again, and swinging out of his shoes is Anthonisitis. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. No one on the base paths for the Blue Sox. And it just looks like Dalton Radans is perfectly comfortable in relief here. 1-2 pitch. Goes with it again and absolutely confuses Anthonisitis. Another strikeout for number 31, and the Kettleers quickly back to the offensive as we head to the bottom of the 8th on the Kettleers digital network. Pitcher for Lexington. We still don't have his name, so we're going to call him 3 as well. It looks like Mikey Perez will come in to pinch hit. If you even call it a pinch hit at this point, because it's more like he's just going to come into the field as I don't even know.
This is an equal opportunity organization type of game. So it isn't really pinch hitting, it's hitting for yourself. More so than even maybe if you're starting, because if you think about it, hitting for yourself denotes that you want to be a starting player on this team. I can't think of a better situation to prove your time than in the 8th inning of a game where you haven't got very many cuts at the plate.
Thanks for the philosophy lesson, Steph. It does look like Perez is going to come in and go against 3 as well. Perez out of UCLA, just landed a few days ago. Actually, I think he landed last night. So he is new to Cotuit as well. We're getting word that 3 as well's name is actually Joe Paris, so that is a little bit more comfortable to say. So Paris will face Perez. I tried too hard there, guys. But the California boy will get his first swings as a Kettler. We've been saying that a couple times too many this game.
I know the 7th inning was last inning, Chris, but that certainly was a stretch.
This is going to be a fun summer, guys, I promise. 1-0 count for Mikey Perez. Here comes the pitch from Paris. Low and inside once again. Two balls and no strikes for Perez. Out of Cerritos, California. And that one misses outside as well. Tight zone for the umpire behind the plate, it seemed, this game.
Yeah, really struggling to find the zone here early. 3 straight balls, and you don't want to get a runner aboard with nobody out, especially with how aggressive Coach Roberts has been.
4 pitches, 4 balls, and a leadoff walk for Mikey Perez. And now it's very interesting to see Zach Neto, the two-way player, come in to bat for himself in place of Brooks Baldwin. Perez on the base paths via a walk, and Neto, who typically wears the number 2 for Campbell University, will wear 16 with the Kettleers.
Yeah, we saw a possibility of him coming into pitch late in this game. Maybe this is his opportunity to come in and hit, maybe pitch next inning. But two-way players, an art that's coming back to a slight extent. I mean, you haven't seen it for 50 years at the level that it's being played at now with Shohei Ohtani, of course, headlining that position. But very good to see a Swiss Army knife, a versatile player that can stand in and face down a pitcher as well as be one.
As there's a snap throw to first, Perez has to get back in quickly. Lucky to not knock over Grease. It almost went over his head, and Perez would have been able to advance. So it's a ball and a strike for Neto against Paris. The pitch. Called strike on the inside corner. Looked like a changeup there. Now a ball and 2 strikes. One-two pitch, runner goes, and it is fouled away. Perez will have to go back to first.
Perez got a really good jump on that one. Breaking ball that Neto fought off.
If I had a nickel for every time we've said runner goes on this broadcast, I would be a somewhat rich man. Mike Roberts is stealing these players left and right every time they reach the base paths. And Perez will go again. Throw down to second will be late. Perez slides in safely head first, and he's in scoring position for Cotuit as Neto goes down on strikes, bringing up Luke Gold from Boston College. Gold, another exciting player to watch for Cotuit. By trade, he is a third baseman, but here he has so much power and talent offensively that he may DH a lot for Cotuit.
Yeah, I was speaking to some of the Boston College guys in our intern group, and they said it was really hard for them to find a position for him defensively. Second base, third base, shortstop, all super solid, but Gold got it done with the bat, one of the headline players for that Boston College Eagles team.
As Perez goes again, there will be no throw. Back-to-back steals from UCLA's Mikey Perez, making his presence felt here quickly. Now Luke Gold, all he has to do is put one to the outfield. Shallow fly ball could even score the speedy number 24 from third base, making it a 7-0 game if Gold can put the ball in play. And he will lift that one high and to shallow right. Coming on is Gesman, and that will be caught off the glove of Grease. That was interesting. It hit the glove of Grease, and then Gesman was able to corral it with his stomach to make the play. So Perez had to go back to third as he broke toward home, and no run will be able to be scored. Luke Gold, unfortunate situation for him.
Yeah, how would you even score that?
I'm going to say that's a pop-up to right field. Actually, you have to say it was a P3-9 would be how I would score it. Now, the better scouts and statisticians watching this would be able to tell me better, as Blake Klassen fouls that pitch away from Paris, quickly behind 0-1. Klassen's already had a single in this game, Nice looping single over the head of Analetto at third base. To the opposite field. That's a positive sign from the first baseman, battling out with Nathan Martarella for that starting spot over at first. 0-1 pitch. Changeup misses away, making it 1-1. Klassen's not like these other guys in some respects. He started at a powerhouse Division I school and then transferred to a junior college powerhouse school in Oklahoma. As Klassen fouls that one away, making it 1-2 strikes.
Well, at the end of the day, it's proof that baseball's baseball. Talent is talent, no matter where they come from, where you find them. Peter Flaherty will find you. If you can hit the baseball, throw the baseball, catch the baseball, simply put.
1-2 pitch from Paris to Klassen. And that's swung on and missed for the third out of the inning. We head to the bottom of the eighth on the Kettleers top of the ninth, on the Kettleers digital network. Top of the ninth here for the Kettleers. It'll feature the hard-throwing T.J. Brock out of The Ohio State University. A couple of defensive changes we have to note. Mikey Perez will be at third base in place of Cummings. And then in left field, Brooks Baldwin, who was one of the DHs this game, will play over there in the 7 spot. So we've seen him at the plate, and now we'll see him defensively in left field. He's usually an infielder, but maybe he'll be that utility guy that Cotuit needs in these games.
Yeah, certainly. Like we were saying, with the versatility of Neto last inning, same thing can be said for these guys that play multiple positions. You want to be a baseball player. You don't want to be ingrained in one position. Find the spot on the field where a coach can play you.
Ben Gesmond is up and swings and misses on a very hard fastball, 0-1. Well, Will Thompson's scouting report before this inning was true. He throws hard and he throws fast. As they had to call off that pitch. I wouldn't be surprised if he just keeps going with that fastball. 0-1. Yeah, that is hard.
97 off the gun.
How are you able to see that? 1-1 pitch. And that's a strike right there. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Back-to-back pitches over 95 miles an hour. Incredible stuff. And the ability to paint that corner, it's going to be very effective.
And there's 96 to ring him up looking. First out of the inning for T.J. Brock, and boy, can he sling the fastball. It has been a strikeout affair for the Kettleers pitchers this game. We have just received word that we're going to play an extra inning, so bonus baseball for you all that are watching. We are so appreciative of you supporting us on this voyage and new journey for the Kettleers broadcast. Chris Carey and Stephen Carey. They're just trying to get these guys to get their cuts in, as Brock tries to paint a 97-mile-per-hour fastball on the outside, but misses 1-0 for the top of the order in John Fritz.
No, I would say you're getting your money's worth, but this is a free broadcast, so enjoy it. Because when the season begins, as a broadcaster, sometimes having extra innings are not the most favorable things in the world.
Now 1-1 pitch. Change up at 89 makes it 1 ball and 2 strikes. So that's the first off-speed pitch we've seen from T.J. Brock, and it absolutely messed up Fritz there.
Well, you want to know how we know he's hard throwing? He's the first pitcher we've had out that's had the radar gun up on the scoreboard.
97 miles an hour and back-to-back looking strikeouts for number 43, and he is just going right at these Blue Sox hitters.
Like we said earlier, a lot of these guys played at Division II, Division III schools and probably maybe would see 1 or 2 guys a season that could go above 95 miles an hour. Coming here and seeing Brock throw consistently at 95 plus with accuracy, it's got to be a difficult adjustment to make.
And now it's Ofuro's turn to try and figure Brock out, and he'll put bat to ball on a changeup. Getting charged is Eric Brown, and the throw to first is in time for the third out of the inning. 1-2-3 inning for T.J. Brock from Ohio State. We head to the bottom of the ninth on the Cotuit Kettleers digital network.
Power. So 9. That's not good math. 27.
27.
Sometimes takes a second or two.
Matt Donlin is up once again, and he will try and add on to this 6-0 lead. Kettleers bats are alive and well in this game. A great prospect to see these guys play before the season opener here at Lowell Park at 5 o'clock against West Conference rivals, the Wareham Gatemen. 0-1 pitch. Curveball misses, 1-1. That game will be presented on YouTube as well as a couple other outlets, but beforehand you can go see the Kettleers pregame show hosted by Tim Crowley and Lauren Kirkley, as well as a guest appearance from us every single game at home, on the road, on radio, whatever you have it. We will cover Kettleers baseball all summer long, and we're so fortunate and happy to do so. As Donlin swings at the changeup, making it 1 ball and 2 strikes. 1-2 pitch from Robbie Cobb, grounded over to short. And that throw is in time to beat out Donlin for the first out of the bottom of the 9th. Looks like they're letting Eric Brown hit for a 4th time this game. So far, he's reached twice on 2 errors, 1 to second and 1 to short, and then grounded out to the shortstop in the 4th inning. So Brown looking for his first actual hit of the game. And he takes a curveball for a strike, 0-1.
Just squaring it up, getting solid contact, that's really going to be the key for Eric Brown moving forward. Middle infielder out of Coastal Carolina, one of the powerhouses that has emerged in college baseball.
As there's a base hit for Eric Brown, he was looking for it and shot it to the left side of the field, dropping right in front of McDonough in left. So a 1-out single brings up Matt McCormick for the second time, who struck out, it brings up Brett Roberts, and then Matt McCormick will follow.
A little bit of a pump fake there. Matt McCormick looked like he was about to step into the batter's box, but no bat boy today in the exhibition. Sure, that'll get cleared up by the time we start play on Sunday. Good pickoff move, but he overthrows the first baseman.
And it looks like Eric Brown will go all the way to third base. Not only do we have a deep wall behind the plate, but also deep dimensions from first and third. If it picks off and it gets away, it's easily a 2-base advance.
Yeah, well, Eric Brown had a big lead. Then we saw the pitcher stepped off, overthrew the first baseman, and Brown had enough time to even sit and think at second, what the heck just happened? So he took third base, and now Roberts a chance with any type of contact to pretty much bring Eric Brown home.
As Brett Roberts shoots that one to left, it is caught. Now tagging is Brown. The throw to the plate is off the line, and Brown will come in to score the 7th run of the game for the Kettleers.
Yeah, pretty good throw coming from left. Good speed, good velocity, just a little bit off the plate. If he had it come a little bit more to the left side of the catcher, that would have probably been an out. It would have forced Brown to slide, but coming in, standing up.
So now it is Matt McCormick's turn. With 2 outs, he will swing at the first pitch, and it will go into the Kettleers seating and off the top. Speaking of seating, the Kettleers have new right side stands that are so wonderful. Now more fans can enjoy Kettleers action all season long from the right side of Lowell Park.
From what we've been told, this place gets packed during the season. Fans are really excited for the Kettleers to come back, and opposing fan bases, of course, can enjoy the right side seating right above their favorite team's dugout.
McCormick behind in the count at 0-2 with 2 outs. Here's the pitch. And that is off the plate. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Now the 1-2. Misses again, evens up the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes with 2 outs.
Yeah, that one looked good. Not the best frame job behind the plate, but certainly could have polished off McCormick there.
2-2 pitch. This time goes to the same place, and McCormick couldn't resist. It is now 7-0 Cotuit as Brett Roberts drives in Eric Brown. We head to the 10th.
Well, here's something you won't hear very often. Top of the 10th, 7-0 game where the Kettleers are leading. And just like we said, Zach Neto coming in to close it out. The hard-throwing right-hander out of Campbell University in Raleigh, North Carolina. Boy, it's been so good, such a privilege for the Kettleers to see so many arms, so much talent, only one hit allowed versus their 9 and 7 runs coming across. Coach Roberts has to be pleased with the product that has been put out on the field today.
Yeah, and that's a very positive sign. You got the one blemish in the one error for the Kettleers, but other than that, the hitters have been very solid, and the pitching has been wonderful to say the least. Now Zach Neto has a chance to make it a 7-0 ball game and close it out. It's not even a close at this point. Make sure that he can get his pitching reps in front of Coach Roberts as well as some of the various scouts that are watching today. Number 16 can do it all. One of the two-way players on this team. You may see him on the mound, but mostly offensively, where he's done a lot of damage for Campbell this past year.
Leads too great for it to be a save opportunity. But all he has to do is get 3 outs. I think we will see the Kettleers bats come up one more time. But it'll be Gage Gaunt's turn. Right side of the batter's box with nobody on and nobody out. Little chopper to the left side. Fouled away, 0-1. Folks, if some of these names are wrong, we have not been updated on the substitutions for the Lexington Blue Sox, so we'll try and keep you as updated as we can. But for now, we're just sticking with the names that we have. Oh, 1 from Neto. Slider breaks away, 1-1.
And Neto's not exactly going to be the high-velocity fastball guy like we saw before with T.J. Brock. He throws 89, 90 miles an hour and then picks his spots, has good command over his pitches. What they like most about him is that he just throws strikes and goes right at his hitters.
Just like right there, 89 on the inside, handcuffed Gaunt, and now it's a 1-2 count. See, however this turns out, with Cotuit having a 7-0 lead, I have to imagine that they're going to walk away with the victory here, but that does not affect the mission for the Lexington Blue Sox as Neto rings him up. Beautiful pitch, breaking to the inside, called strike 3, struck him out looking. But as I was saying, the Lexington Blue Sox are 4-1. They play the best team in the league tomorrow night. They've had 15 championships, or the defending champions of their league, since 1995 when they were first created, and have had 2 spells when they were 5-peat champions. Just imagine that. 2007 to 2011, they won every championship during that span. 2015 through 2019, they won every championship from that span.
And now there's a chance for them to 6-peat, which would be a wonderful opportunity for them. You know, you can't say much more about a team that wins 5 in a row twice since they've become a team in this league. And so now, if they can win 6 times in a row and just keep adding to that, be they are already a dynasty in this intercity league, excuse me.
Well, up here in Cape Cod and the greater New England area, it is sort of a fertile crescent of amateur and collegiate baseball. As the 1-2 right down the middle, Ryan Grease just never saw it. 2 outs, and Zach Neto coming in and doing an excellent job with the first 2 batters he's seen.
Good pitch there from Neto. Good pitch selection. And another strikeout. I'm going to get a count out of the strikeouts, and I'm going to have you guess. Don't look at your score sheet.
As Alex McDonough awaits the first pitch. He bounces one to the left side. Diving play by Perez. He throws across the diamond, and it's picked by Klassen at first. What a play from the corner infielders. Zach Neto comes in, retires the side in 1-2-3 fashion, and will enter the bottom of the 10th on the Kettleers Digital Network. The 10th inning, he took a ball for an absolute ride out to left field. And there was no doubt about it. We were talking about it earlier. If he can get his hands inside the baseball and barrel it up, that ball is going to go into the trees.
Yeah, absolutely. And Rhodes has just been so capable of hitting that breaking ball, and he timed it up perfectly. Sent it into the brand new bullpen for the Kettleers as well.
Looping breaking ball upstairs, 1-0. Into pitch for the Blue Sox, Sean Mahane, as John Rhodes sends one out to left field, standing, and it is gone. 2 home runs for John Rhodes, and he is putting on an absolute clinic at Lowell Park.
Just when you thought he couldn't hit more. 2 is better than 1. We've said that plenty of times in the broadcast booth. But John Rhodes, same spot, same home run, got out in a little bit more of a hurry, and he's really helping himself offensively. Puts the number 8 on the back of his jersey onto the scoreboard, and the Kettleers have an 8-0 lead now.
You know, this has got to be bittersweet for Coach Roberts. He's got to be thinking to himself, you can't save that for Sunday when we have to play our first official game. But if that's a sign for what's to come, John Rhodes certainly has a bright future in Burgundy. Dylan Beavers now gets inside, pokes one out into center field, and that gets down. Big round around first base. He's going to try for second, hustling in. He's safe. Back-to-back extra base hits, one of which a home run, bringing home the 8th run of the game. And Dylan Beavers' aggression on the base paths gets him into scoring position with nobody out.
And Beavers had a double in the 5th inning to right center field, and now to left center field here in the 10th inning. He has yet another double. So Beavers, an extra base hit threat possibly for the Kettleers come the beginning of the season.
Mikey Perez stands in for his second time up. Now he has a runner in scoring position with a chance to extend the lead. Beavers going. Perez showing bunt. The throw across is not in time. Beavers snags third and makes the job even easier for Mikey Perez at the plate.
This has been a steal and strikeout show. I'm going to go back to what I was asking you before, Stefan. On my scorecard, I have a certain number of strikeouts that the Kettleers pitchers have been able to amass against the Blue Sox today. How many strikeouts do you think this staff has been able to do through 10 innings of work now?
I don't know, 15 as Perez ropes one out into left field. Beavers is going to score easily. 9-0 is your score, and the Kettleers bats are coming alive in the second half of this game.
15 is close, and it isn't number 16 on the back of Neto's jersey. It's actually 17 strikeouts from the Kettleers.
Unbelievable.
And other than the one hit that they gave up in the 4th inning, it's been strikeouts, groundouts, and flyouts for the Kettleers.
Neto now comes back up to the plate. We said it, he's a two-way player. Made quick work of the Blue Sox offense in the top half of this inning, but now wants to get the wood out and take a couple swings with Mikey Perez standing at first. Perez, quick jump, he's going, breaking ball, off speed, he's going to get in safely as well. 2 stolen bases in the bottom of the 10th. Coach Roberts is not letting up a bit here in this game.
Maybe he's going for that number 10. Get the double-digit runs and then have Zach Neto try and drive in Mikey Perez from second base, but they're stealing all over the place. And now, mind you, these catchers in the Cape Cod Baseball League have a lot of quicker pop times than some of the guys behind the plate for the Blue Sox. But I don't think that this will be scaring Coach Roberts at all when the season starts to get his quick and speedy runners into scoring position at any chance that he can get.
Neto gets a call with a pitch just a bit outside, 1-2. Perez standing at second. On an absolutely picturesque night in Cotuit, Massachusetts, Cape Cod just providing beautiful scenery, beautiful weather, and one of the best possible venues for baseball in the entire country and perhaps the world. Neto pushes one to the right side. That'll get down to the outfield. Mishandled by the right fielder. Coming across to score is Perez, and Neto has an RBI of his own.
Perez had a late jump home anyway. If it wasn't for that miscue, he probably would have been given the breaks by Coach Roberts, but now they hit the double digits at 10. 4 straight hits for the Kettleers, and now you bring up probably your most calculated hitter, Luke Gold, with a runner on second base.
This is an absolute nightmarish inning for the Blue Sox. You just want to get out of town, end on a positive note, not let more runs come across. But certainly they've put in a ton of fight. They have a great game tomorrow against the Middlesex Expos, number 1 ranked team in the Intercity Baseball League. Been operating since 1950 in the greater Boston area.
And Steph, on Sunday, we have a pretty formidable opponent of our own against the Wareham Gatemen of the West.
Pops it into foul ground near the railing, but can't be corralled by Grease. But you're absolutely right, Chris. Wareham Gatemen have been one of the best teams in the Cape Cod Baseball League for quite some time, and we always look forward to seeing them, as well as our friend Jack Sadigan coming in to broadcast. Got to represent the University of Georgia crew.
But before all that can happen, you should watch the Kettleers pregame show with Tim Crowley and Lauren Kirkley.
Yes, all of our broadcasts will be on multiple locations. If you're in Mashpee TV, YouTube, and there may be 1 or 2 more areas where you can watch as the season progresses, but stay tuned for all of that, as well as our road games on MixLR. Luke Gold facing a 2-2 count. Chance for the Blue Sox to get their first out of the inning as Gold sends one high and deep to left. That's going to get out of here. Luke Gold with an absolute tank.
I mean, I thought 1 was nice, 2 was even better. Now 3's a crowd at this point. Luke Gold on the inside had to go down with 1 knee. And that Kettleers bullpen is getting lots of action and free baseballs at this point in later innings. Thank you very much, John Rhodes. And now Luke Gold makes it 12-0 for the Kettleers. Wow. This is plenty of power that you weren't expecting to see in a wood bat league in the first game of guys who are typically playing with metal. But this speaks volumes about the strength, the power, and talent that these guys possess. There's still no outs here in the 10th.
Yeah, Gold, we were talking about it. This is why he found his way onto the field. In a metaphorical sense, I guess, because he was the DH for most of the season at Boston College, but his bat carried the way. And we were so excited to see what this guy is going to do up here in Cotuit. But now he's proven that he can hit as Blake Klassen shoots one to right field. And he'll round first and settle for a single.
6 straight base hits for the Kettleers, Steph. Blake Klassen already has 2 to his name. And so now we just keep moving throughout the order.
12 runs on 15 hits for the Cotuit Kettleers. And Matt Donlan's going to stand in with another chance to make some contact and contribute some offense for Cotuit.
This is a pretty good reminder, Steph. Any Kettleers fans that are hoping to donate to the Home Run Club can donate $100 up to 25 home runs in the season. It will help the Kettleers with costs of production, helping out the team, helping out our facilities, helping out everything that you can. If you would like to do that, visit kettleers.org. And Stefan, visiting the Home Run Club and making that investment now with 3 home runs in, it wouldn't start until the Cape Cod Baseball League season started, but I feel like we're going to hit a lot of home runs this season.
Well, if this inning is any indicator, some people are going to be shelling out a lot of money for who knows what next. You see those beautiful new stands on the right side of the field. Plenty of potential for development in this beautiful facility for Cotuit Kettleers amateur baseball. So 2 balls and no strikes. Klassen standing on first. The Kettleers holding on to a 12-0 lead here in the bottom of the 10th. Couple of sentences that we never thought we would utter in our baseball careers. A 10th inning where the home team has a 12-0 lead. Pretty interesting stuff.
I love baseball.
The 3-0 to Donlan is upstairs. He'll draw a 4-pitch walk.
Or not.
Well, it looks like
it's not.
They're going to call that a strike.
We don't know, folks. Okay, let's be honest. 12-0 game, 15 hits. Kettleers are doing everything they can.
As Donlan skies one out into left center field, going back at the track, at the wall, making the catch is Fritz.
These guys are teeing off right now, Steph.
Donlan gave it a ride, but I think that's how this game is going to end, with a Matt Donlan fly out to center field. The Kettleers put out an incredible performance offensively late in the game. A lot to be excited about for Mike Roberts. A lot to be excited about for Rick DeAngelis. And we'll be back with a post-game wrap-up on the Kettleers Digital Network.
Kettleers win a tight one, 12-0 through 10 innings. 15 hits, gave up 1 run. Pitching was at a premium against the Lexington Blue Sox, and wonderful for both teams, and it was a great support of Pete Frates. Stefan, what did the Kettleers do well in your eyes today?
Well, they did everything. From top to bottom, they really came out with good energy and attacking. You look at the run spread, 1 run in the second, 1 in the fourth, 1 in the fifth, 1 in the sixth, 2 in the seventh, and then the floodgates just began to open. The bats started coming alive. The guys that were expected to hit came and hit. John Rhodes with 2 home runs. And I mean, it's just something that's so exciting to see moving forward as we enter regular season play with the Cape Cod Baseball League.
And there's plenty of talented players for the Blue Sox that we were able to see. Their starting pitcher, Kyle Murphy, did well through the first 2 innings. Northeastern product. So they have plenty to look forward to as they take on Middlesex tomorrow in a first-place matchup. The 4-1 team will look to go to 5-1 as they get on the field together and take the picture that they usually do annually. But what a wonderfully run preseason game for the Kettleers and the Blue Sox. Rick DeAngelis in his 26th season, hoping to get that 16th ring for the Blue Sox and possibly go for a six-peat championship opportunity. Stephen Kettleers trying to go back-to-back in 2019 and now in 2021 after that 2020 hiatus. Kettleers are going to play the Wareham Gatemen at 5 p.m. on Sunday. What are you looking forward to in that game?
Yeah, plenty of excitement. I mean, it's opening day. It's opening day in one of the oldest baseball leagues in America and one of the most supported baseball leagues in America, where the next stars of the major leagues are shining brightly here. We don't know who's going to be the breakout player. These guys are going to control their own destiny, be the captains of their own ship, and it's just a pleasure to come and be able to watch it and voice their abilities and talents out on the field. So it's going to be excellent to see against Wareham and beyond as we continue to just call these games.
And as we mentioned before 5 o'clock, tune in to the Kettleers pregame show hosted by Tim Crowley and Lauren Kirkley. First pitch at 5 o'clock p.m. at Lowell Park. Kettleers taking on the Wareham Gatemen. We'd like to see you in person. If not, you can see us on YouTube or MashP TV, possibly other outlets. But until then, Chris Carey, Stephen Carey wishing you a wonderful night. And hopefully we'll see you on Sunday and